Hello everyone, my name is Michael SK and welcome back to Robotics Notes Elite. I'll get into the intro here in a moment, but we have this ringing phone going on here and I don't want to listen to that for too long. We need to get into Phase 7, and to do so, we need to jump into Twitter and we need to respond to Frau with the tweet that she put out with, "This island has way too many bugs, it's not even funny." And we have to respond with, "You should ask Madame President for help. She can take out 10 to 20 bugs at a time with just her bare hands." And we are not to respond to any other tweets. And now we need to skip towards the point where we're looking for the report and travel to the robot clinic. So we'll get right to it. Okay. Yeah, welcome back, everybody. In the last episode, we finished off the Juna route, and as we can see here, this whole route system is about to become a lot more complicated for no good reason, but it does appear that this day, today, the 23rd of August, is sort of the day where we can kind of make the appropriate decisions on how we progress and what route we're allowed to see. I don't know why, but it is what it is. Okay, so when the search for the report begins, travel to the robot clinic, and we have to respond to Frau again. Why we're going to the robot clinic for these things, I have no idea. But this route system, I feel like, is going to become even more complicated because going from Phase 7 to Phase 8, it involves the same exact process. We're not really changing the formula, which is pretty ridiculous in my opinion. Hopefully the rest of the game doesn't have more confusing shit like this, but that remains to be seen. Alright, so we need to respond to this. Spent 3 whole hours collecting Kojuro X Masamune pics. I have a problem. That sounds like Frau. We have to respond with, "Go to sleep already." Yep, right there. And then I think we're good. Yep, we got an achievement. Unlock the path to Phase 7. Yeah, this stuff is just, it's ridiculous. It really is. Alright, so now I guess we just go get the report and we carry on. It actually doesn't even say anything. Yeah, I guess we just have to go get the report as we did last time, and I'll cut this part out and then I'll continue the rest of the introduction afterwards. Whoa, 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 wait a minute. Wow, okay, we just straight up jumped past Phase 6 into Phase 7. Okay, cool. I guess there's not a whole lot of skipping to do, huh? I thought it was going to be a lot more. Alright, yeah, welcome back, as I said. The Juna route was a lot of fun, and I'm excited to see what comes up next, though I am still going to stick with my prediction that it is going to be a Frau route that will pop up. But yeah, as this is becoming more evident, like by the minute, this route system is pretty wacky because if you're not using a guide, holy shit, you can accidentally just bypass a whole bunch of like story. That's really bad. Is that possible? Like, is that actually possible? I remember people were telling me in regards to whenever I was asking about a guide, like, is it possible that we can actually skip phases or chapters here? Now that we're actually like going through this part, I really wonder. That's really bad. Well, regardless, not too much in terms of the core story was brought up before the Juna route, but we are making steps towards getting that gun build Model 2 whole situation going. The blueprints are still being written up, and that was evident by the end of Juna's route. So hopefully here we begin to see some real progress. The last time I saw Mom... Okay, yeah, this is definitely Frau's route. I mean, come on. It was at the doorway of our home in Tokyo. It was a small apartment in the center of Tokyo. Mama, who was forced to have an irregular lifestyle due to her job, excuse me, would leave at different times on different days. Some days she would leave earlier than Papa, who was an office worker. Other times, she would leave in the evening and not come home until morning. The day I last saw her, it was early in the morning. Mama was hurriedly preparing for work, circles under her eyes from working all night. She ate half the bread I prepared for her and only sipped at her coffee.
じゃあ、コナちゃん、行ってくるわね。
Yeah, 100% Frau route. Honestly, a good... I don't know if it's like proof or like just... I don't know what you can call it, but we responded to Juna before we jumped into Phase 6, and we responded to Frau before we jumped into Phase 7. So, yeah, there we go. I guess that's our... that is what is going on, maybe. If anyone wants to tell me the the actual answer to that.
パパの朝ごはんだけ用意してあげて。夜までには帰ってこられると思うから。夕飯、一緒に食べよう。
I don't think she's gonna be back in the evening.
いってらっしゃい、ママ。
行ってきます。
Something just kinda tells me. I knew she was tired from staying up all night, but Mama was as cheerful as always. Before heading out the door, she turned around to wave at me, and then left the house. But she never came back. And now this is the life we live. When I open my eyes, I see a slightly dirty ceiling above me, and a dark and dusty room surrounding me. The PC I left on continues to make its usual sounds. My hands and feet are cold, they almost feel frozen. It's like they aren't even my own. I'm so cold, but it's not a bad
こ
coldness.
のまま私を凍らせて永遠に保存してくれたらいいのに。これはひどい。なんという中二病ポエム。
Yeah, honestly. The shaking of my laughter makes the tears run from my eyes down my temples. I guess I must have been crying while I slept. I slowly raise myself up. I wrap myself in a blanket, indulging in its comfortable soft feel. I'm really thirsty, but I have no drinks at hand. There are a few mineral water bottles on the floor, but they're all empty. The fridge is near the entrance. I'd have to walk to it. Way too much work for someone who just woke up. Nah, whatever. I check the Kill Ballad Online match status on the several monitors lined up in front of me. And this is always the first thing I do when I wake up. I then open the home screen on my Pokécom.
元気くん、今何時？
だいたい午後9時31分だぜ。そろそろ眠くなってくる時間だな。
Jesus Christ.
まだまだ元気一発で行こうぜ。
What a lifestyle. The Genki-kun bot I created answers from my Pokécom screen.
なんだ夜か。
3 days after arriving on the island, I completely lost my sense of night and day. It's not coming back anytime soon. Not that it was any different in Tokyo. I'd wake up in the morning, at noon, at night, whenever. When I go to bed varies wildly from day to day. That's a really good way to get sick, by the way.
ロゼッタだ、メールチェック。
Not necessarily waking up like, you know, at different times, but staying up like that. And, I mean, your body has a clock. And, I don't know, just doing that gives me, like, the shivers.
新着メールは1136件ですわ。
Nice.
なお、スパムメールはあらかじめ除外してありますよ。フラウ工事ロファクトリー関係者からのメールが6通、お仕事依頼のメールが11通、キルバラットのユーザーから届いたメールのうち、ポジティブと予想されるものが282通、ネガティブと予想されるものが837通です。はいはい、叩きと嵐メールですね。わかります。
I'm sure my Tweepo account is also filled with slander and all kinds of abuse. It wasn't this bad when Kill Ballad was first released, but once you move 20 million copies, well, the haters come out in full force. Not to mention that when I moved here, the mass media caught wind of it. How? No clue. The fact that Kojiro Frau is just a 17-year-old girl got exposed to the public. It didn't take long for my info to spread across the net, no putting it back in the box. Now I get sexually harassed, death threats, and lots of calls where all I can hear is heavy breathing. I'm sure everyone is just mad that a high school girl managed to strike it rich.
一つ。
Honestly, yeah, there is a lot of that. You see that in sports, you see it out of like, well, even situations of this. Maybe not making like the biggest next game or something like that, but having these huge opportunities due to your intellect, your skills, I mean, that is all very real.
ネガティブメールは全部削除。わかりましたわ。削除いたしますね。
And it's very smart of Frau to not even give the negative messages the time of day because, you know, even me, I still do it. If there's like a negative comment, I read it. It doesn't make me feel all that great because I read all my comments. But then again, I don't get like hundreds of them. I think when you're young and you have all that pressure, you have to know that you have to filter through it and not look at the garbage because it's just going to bring you down. I'm not going to let the slander get to me. There you go. I have tougher skin than that. I sigh and focus my gaze on a cardboard box in the corner of the room. That's where I've carefully stored the original Genga and production materials for the Gunbarrel anime. It's already been over 2 months since the legendary final episode was leaked. Online, supposed fans are still going over each frame in the 4-minute 31-second video. But to me personally, it's no different to watching pieces of human garbage rape Mama right in front of me over and over again. That is some language. I want to throw up. How dare they defile Gunbarrel like this? I even posted something like that on Tweepo. I hope they find them soon. Whoever leaked the final episode, I hope they're found. It would be even better if it were Mama. As long as I have that single ray of light to hold on to, I'll tough out even the rape while throwing up.
そんな中二病の私って素敵や。実際には吐きませんけどね。
After laughing, I bite my lip hard. I cut into my skin, the taste of blood filling my mouth. Yeah, I'm not really, I don't know if you guys have been able... Holy shit, we're in November. Wait, we were in fucking October in the last phase. So a whole month went by with just nothing going on, maybe? I don't even know, like, what is actually the cutoff point. Like, did the entire Juna story carry over? Or was that just a route? Were things altered? There's a lot of unknowns here because we know that the Nai route didn't actually happen. That was all garbage, right? Right? Actually, is there any evidence that that was all just like filler? Not events that actually happened? I wonder. There's no way. There's no way. But a part of me would like to believe that because of how much forward that we're jumping, that Juna stuff did happen because that was a good route. I really did like that. And I can't use my Pokecom yet because we're looking at the sky. You'd think I'd know this by now. The wind's gotten pretty cold, I think to myself. I was going to mention that, I don't know if you guys have been able to really catch it, but I've become more and more not so happy with using certain terms. Like, I think the use of the word rape in certain contexts aren't really all that great, even with the actual meaning of it. I don't know, it's a very harsh word, and it is very impactful, so, I mean, in its sense here, I guess it's okay to use it, but maybe different terms could have been used, so I don't know. I kind of recoil with some words, because especially with YouTube, nowadays, they don't like certain things anymore, so I have to be kind of careful with what I say in general. It's very scary stuff. I felt a bit chilly. I felt a bit chilly, probably because I was riding on my scooter. If I feel this way in long sleeves, that must mean that autumn is coming to an end. Well, we've moved on over to the old winter uniforms, which is going to take some time to get used to be completely honest. God damn, it's the same thing in the Persona games, I swear, whenever they switch from the winter uniforms to the summer and then back to the winter. There we go. Twitter time. Let us see what I actually have to respond to. Because it is... Wait, what is the day? It is November 9th. I actually don't have to respond to anything until the 13th. And just like the last phase, there really isn't all that much that I have to respond to. So I guess we get to have a little bit creativity here for a bit. It's been a while since I've had a dream. Usually I sleep so deep I don't remember my dreams. Been a while since you posted. How are you? I thought you died since you haven't been... God damn it. Maybe the thing that you think is a dream is actually reality, JK. Let's go with this one. Surprise plan, go, no-go's decision will be a go. What does that mean? God damn it, we've seen this. We've seen this, actually. I can't remember what this meant. Aki-chan came to pick me up, played 20 minutes, 3-1, ugh. Did a small craft project, came out decent considering I just finished healing up. It was good rehab knowing I still got it, so okay. Maybe that Juno route did happen. So, November 9th, solar storm news. Currently, a solar proton phenomenon is happening. It is highly active, so please be careful. Oh yeah, this is around that time where the solar storm's supposed to happen. We better be on the lookout. We better be careful. The solar storm news has been pretty active recently. It's probably on another end of the world scam. I'm worried because of what happened in America. I don't want to be involved in a riot. That's an American thing, don't worry. The riot in America wasn't directly connected to the solar storm. They were already in a nerve-wracking situation, and to add to that, a solar storm hit which blew it up. A riot won't happen in Japan just because a solar storm hit. Japan as a country has a lot of natural disasters like earthquakes and typhoons, so people are used to disasters. I'm sure that people will stay calm when the solar storm comes. I bet Japanese people will still try to go to work because they are yeah, I have read a lot of things. I wouldn't use the term corporate slave, but I have read up a little bit on Japanese culture and really just like Asian cultures. It's crazy in comparison to what is here in the States. They are just powerhouses. They just work like crazy. It's on another level, truly. We won't start a riot even if we have complaints about the government and society. Being too quiet can be an issue, but we're proud of our sense of enduring crisis when a disaster hits. And I have been told that List D here will be used, so we better be on the lookout for List D finally. And I thought I had this, but okay. I'm pretty certain I had that geotag, but since we're doing all this back and forth, who knows now? Akiho gets off her scooter and excitedly waves her hand. Damn. Yeah, it is going to take some time to get used to the winter uniforms, but I will say Subaru is looking pretty fly. TNSC's first Osaki office, Model 2 is being assembled here. When Akiho and I arrive, Jun and Subaru are waiting. What do these two usually talk about? I can't even imagine it.
おはよう、あきほちゃん、ヤシオくん。
Juna and Subaru are holding cans of milk tea.
そのミルクティーホット？どこに売ってた？俺も飲みたいんだけど。
I glance around but find no vending machines nearby.
これは日高くんが原付で10分くらいかけてわざわざ買ってきてくれて、自販機近くにいないから別にいいよって言ったんだけど。
何ですか？
スバルも少しは気が利くようになったね。
そう？単に純ちゃんと二人きりだと間が持たないから口実作って逃げただけじゃない？
なぜわかったんです？
God damn it.
あ、いや別に大徳先輩が嫌とかそういうわけではなく。
その気にしないで。
And now it's awkward. I didn't think I'd hit the bullseye. Subaru is quite rude to Akiho, but when he's with Juna, he gets surprisingly nervous. I smirk and stretch my arms into the air. I make eye contact with the guard standing at the gate in front of us. When I bow my head to him, he smiles back. We've kind of become familiar with the people here. Not me personally, but the Chuo Tanegashima High Robotics Club as a whole. It's rare for all of the Robotics Club members, Frau excluded, to gather here at the TNSC. We have school on weekdays. On top of that, dragging yourself all the way here takes at least 30 minutes by scooter, and that's just one way. That goes double for Subaru and Juna, who live in Nakatane. Our school's in the middle of the island. So they have to come all the way out here, the southern tip, and then go all the way back to the center of the island. Plus, Subaru has his old man to deal with, further complicating things. Juna is in charge of mocap, so she doesn't have anything to do here. Her work is at the old airport. Even Akiho goes to the robot clinic on weekdays to process parts for Model 2, so she barely comes here. Thus, we only ever come here on weekends. And not even every week. It's more like once every 2 weeks. As for what we do, well, we put Model 2 together. So Mia and Juna really don't have anything to do here. Oh yeah, that is some progress. Those are legs. We go inside the building. Model 2's legs are stored here. They're not even 4 meters tall. Well, I guess we should get this geotag. Well, yeah, there we go. I was gonna say. I'm pretty sure they're like already like registered with like the overall game save, but you know, might as well. Yeah, they're not even 4 meters tall. They still can't stand on their own, so they're hanging from the crane up top. An outsider probably wouldn't realize they're robot legs. The ankle joints don't even have motors installed yet. According to Akiho, the parts processing is 60% complete. But since we still haven't decided how we're going to drive them, it looks like we can't put the motors in yet.
Oh, 早いですね。
What up, Nai? Welcome back. Nai-san was waiting for us inside. She got back from Tokyo mid-last month and has been supervising us when we work here.
おはようございます、ナエさん。
Well, it does truly appear that not much happened in the past month, and everything that did happen is just being kind of summed up. Nothing in the major plot. I don't know what our progress is on the next flags because those all involve athleticism.
はい、おはようございます。
ナエさんいつも暇そうだね。せっかくの土日なんだし、たまには遊びに行ったら。
カイトくん、あんまり年上のお姉さんをからかっちゃダメだよ。
A chill runs down my spine. As much as she has a smile on her face, her eyes are dead serious. Or that's how it feels at least.
すいませんでした。
Older girls really are scary.
ダメー。こちょこちょの刑にしてあげます。
Hey, yo? With that, Nai-san extends her hands and starts tickling my sides.
うわー、やべ。
I desperately flee from her hands.
もう逃げ足早いですね。男の子なら堂々としてないと。
勘弁してよ。
Still on guard, I distance myself a bit from Nai-san.
カイ、ナエさんに失礼なこと言っちゃダメだよ。いつもうちらのために休みの日まで付き合ってくれてるんだから。
Wait, I can't remember. Were we still calling her Tenoshi-san? Like, before her route? So does this mean that the route did happen in, like, some sort of way? God damn it, I can't tell. This is... I don't like this. I don't like this whole route system, because I don't even know what actually happened and what didn't. I can only make an assumption that things did happen. And we're just, like, skipping over them.
反省します。
Maybe, I don't know. I put my hands up like I'm surrendering. But I still keep my distance in case she tries to tickle me again.
そんなことよりナエさん、今日はプレゼントがあるんです。え、プレゼント？はい。せーの、ハッピーバースデー
Hey,
トゥ
yo.
ーユー。ってみんな歌ってよ。ごめんなさい。照れちゃって。
右に同じく。
俺はこちょこちょの刑のせいで歌えない。
もしかしてみんな私の誕生日をよく知ってましたね。でもこれはすごいサプライズ。
We found out her birthday was on the 9th of November thanks to Chief Senomiya. Once we found out about half a month ago, we pooled our money together and got her something.
というわけで、ナエさん、お誕生日おめでとうございます。これ、いつもお世話になってるうちらからプレゼント。ありがとう。感激です。
Nai-san happily accepts her present. The smile she wears on her face isn't that of a young woman, but rather an innocent little girl.
開けてもいいですか？どうぞどうぞ。選んだのはカイなんですよ。
まあね、西の表まで出向いて買ってきたよ。
God damn it, Nishinomode is the only decent place for shopping on the island.
これってサングラスですね。
サイクリング用のね。
Nai-san's constantly riding around on her bike, so I figured something practical would be best.
かわいい。ありがとうございます。大切にしますね。そうだ。今度ぜひみんなでサイクリングしましょう。
Hey, I'm not gonna do that.
俺たち原付派なんだけど。
あ、そうでした。だったらこの際だからみんないい自転車買いませんか？そんなお金持ってませんよ。
Yeah, if you want a good bike, oh my gosh, you have to spend money. I would know. Regardless, I'm glad Nai-san is happy. I breathe a sigh of relief and look toward Model 2. Time is slowly but surely moving forward. Doesn't feel slow. It felt like it was frozen for a time, yet before I realized, summer blew over a while ago. Excuse me, and now autumn's coming to a close. No more than 4 months until the expo. Will we really be able to finish this in time? I mean, hopefully, maybe. Alright, who are we following? Akiho, over at the robot clinic. Hopefully the old man's doing all good now. Sparks scatter about. Welding these thick iron plates is my job. The work involves patiently connecting the iron plates in a shape as directed by the blueprints. If I lose focus, its overall strength would take a hit, causing damage once assembled. So I have to be careful. Despite how I might look, I'm pretty experienced at this sort of thing. I've been helping with welding at the robot clinic ever since Gun Build 1. Honestly, I'm pretty confident that I'd do really well if I went to work at a local factory. Oh, I know. Even if I don't go to college, I can make a living working somewhere like Kamada Motors. Old man Kamada can't refuse me if I really beg him. I don't think that's how you get a job, but he's kind of a pushover. I'm sure I could pressure him into hiring me. Alright, that'll be my last resort. And so I continue to focus on my welding work. That's when I feel a light pat on the back. I stop and raise my head. Subaru looked at me with a sour face.
どうかした？
部長、ドクが呼んでます。
どこで？
外で。
Doc collapsed in September due to illness and went to Kagoshima for surgery last month, so he went with it. Nice. Despite only having been discharged around 10 days ago, he's even livelier than when he was before the surgery. That's how much energy he's recovered. Honestly, yeah, like I talked about this a couple or so episodes ago, but after a heart attack, a stroke, those sort of, health issues, you're really not the same again, but I'm sure you can make a comeback. I don't know if like something could be holding you up in the heart or whatever, but I think going for a surgery, if it's bound to help you, which, you'd hope a surgery does, it's always great to see it actually have that sort of effect for you to have like more life in you than ever before, seemingly. Remember how he raised his voice and berated me for wanting to make Gun Build 2, saying he'd never cooperate with me again? Yeah, about that. Now it's the exact opposite. Not that I'm complaining, I'm not banned from the clinic anymore. If anything, you could probably argue that Doc's been on a bit of a rampage lately.
どうします？
行くしかないでしょう。
I sigh and stand up. I make my way outside. It's nice out today, warm enough to get by in short sleeves despite it being November. But the sun sets early now. It's only around 5 o'clock, but the sky is already stained orange. Yeah, and, it's like in the middle of summer here. I look out my window and it's still bright outside at 8 p.m. I've been sitting and working for a while now, so my back hurts a little. I look up at the dusk sky and stretch out my back.
Oh, Oseiza!
Damn, he's got a smile on his face. Doc is waiting with a grin on his face. He smiles a lot more now. He's not so grumpy these days. I guess he's kind of softened up, though that still doesn't feel right.
何？
見ろ、こいつだ。
Doc pushes a cart from the scrapyard out back. In the cardboard box on top of it is a unique-looking part. It's shaped like a bowl, but it's really big. It could probably hold 30 times as much rice as your average bowl.
なんだと思う？
パラボラアンテナですか？
何言ってんだ、スバル。お前の目は節穴か。
I mean, maybe that's what the glasses are for?
ロボブ、お前ならわかるだろう。
Doc continues to look at me with a grin on his face.
その前に気になったんだけど、どうしてスバルは名前で呼んで、うちのことはロボ部としか呼んでくれないの？うちにもちゃんとした名前があるんですけど。
細けえ嬢ちゃんだな。俺はな、ロボ部の部長のことはいつもロボ部と呼ぶと決めてんだ。文句があるなら部長を辞めてきな。
That's ridiculous.
それより話をそらすな。こいつは何だと思うと聞いてんだ。
バーニア？
さすがロボ部だ。
Okay, I guess we have to read into whatever that is. So, a vernier thruster. It's a small rocket engine. It's called a vernier in the anime Mobile Jacket Gunbum, but that is not the name used in reality. It primarily refers to items that are used to control a robot's attitude, not to be confused with altitude. You guys ever watch Erica 7? He cheerfully laughs and pats my shoulder.
いかにもその通り。こいつはな、俺の自作バーニアだ。こいつを2号機に。
取り付けないよ。
I cut Doc off before he can finish.
だってガンツク2は飛ばないし、ジャンプもしないし。
飛ぶように改良すりゃいいだろうが。
ガンツク2はそういうんじゃないの？飛んだら着地した時に足がひしゃげちゃう。
まあ待て。
Doc interrupts me.
宇宙センターにロケットエンジンの燃焼試験をする施設があんだろう。そこを借りてきな。燃料なら俺の方で手配できるから。
だからバーニアなんてつけないってば。
だったら1号機の方につけるか。
ガンツク1の重量で飛べるわけないじゃん。そもそも姿勢制御とかどうするつもり？
そんなもんは俺の専門分野じゃねえ。
うわぁ、なんていう開き直り。
いいか、巨大ロボと言ったらバーニアだろうが、ロボ部、お前ならわかるだろ
う。わかる、すごく。
His enthusiasm is like on a completely different level than ever before, honestly. Like, I don't think he's ever made a suggestion like this. I nod as hard as I can and Subaru flashes me a cold glare.
でも、それはロボットアニメの話で、ガンツク2に飛ぶ機能はないんだってば。
If we built him under the assumption that he would fly, sure, we'd need verniers, but we didn't.
じゃあ飛ばなくてもいい。
え？
飛ばなくてもいいから、バーニアで燃料噴射させようじゃねえか。ちなみに搭載するバーニアは全部で10機な。
背中に6機？
ちげえだろ、4機だ。
じゃあ左右ふくらはぎに3機ずつってことか。かなりの高機動型だね。
I try imagining the form. Super thick legs, the calves would be thicker than the thighs.
たぎってきた。
ついでによ、ホバー機能をつけてバーニアの推進力で移動させるか。どうだ、悪くねえだろ。
俺を踏み台にしたって？じゃあ機体のペイントは黒と紫で。
Yeah, honestly. Subaru clears his throat as loudly as possible.
二人とも何の話をしているんですか？
黒い3年生。
ナンセンスですね。
Subaru's cold gaze quickly returns me to my senses.
そうナンセンス。ドク、バーニアなんて搭載しないからね。本当だからね。
んだよ、つまんねえガキどもだな。
バーニアなんて作ってる暇があったらパラボラアンテナ作ってよ。パラボラアンテナ。歪み一つない綺麗な表面のやつね。
いくらだ？
え？
値段次第でやってやるよ。ただし高えぞ。
My ridiculous order comes with an equally ridiculous price. I recoil and flee into the store.
はあ、ドクってば元気になりすぎ
ですね。
But that's good, right? Like, we should be happy about that. To an extent. It's actually kind of a pain. Plus, he keeps bringing up ideas that he totally knows hit my strike zone.
ドク、侮れん。 まさかあんなにもマッドサイエンティストだったなんて。
僕ももっとお堅い技術者だとばかり思ってました。かなりがっかりですよ。特に部長と毒の話を聞いていると頭が悪すぎてクラクラします。
それドクに直接言ってきたら？
お断りします。
Subaru sits down on a stool, a composed expression on his face.
そもそも2号機の組み立てがスケジュール通りにいっていないのに、部長はなんでそんなに落ち着いていられるんですか？
それはみんなの力を合わせればきっとなんとかなるかなって。
Plus, the processing of parts is already about 60% complete.
組み立てが本格的に始まれば完成まではすぐだよ。
だったら今すぐにでもフル合理の説得に行くことをお勧めしますね。
For the drive system? An electric motor or hydraulic motor, we still haven't decided, so we can't move forward. I get it.
それについてはドクの実験待ち。そうでしょ？
あれが本当に使い物になると思ってるんですか？当てにしすぎると後でいざ使えないとなった時に苦労する羽目になりますよ。
The thing that Subaru's talking about, well, it's the monopole that Kai found. When Doc got discharged 10 days ago, I made up my mind and tried discussing the strange material with him.
こりゃなんだ？
モノポールなんだって。
こんなわけのわからねえもん見たことねえぞ。よく平気で持ち運んできやがったな。爆発して種子島が丸ごと吹っ飛ぶ可能性だってあったのによ。
そんなに危険なのかな？
I mean, I'd probably call it dangerous. If it's something that we don't actually know and understand,
人類史上
anything's
初の
possible.
発見なんだからよ。
これガンツク2の電動モーターに使えないかな？ドク調べてくれない？ JAXA には内緒で。お願い。
I mean, I'm not surprised that they want to go through with it.
この年になってこんなワクワクすることにお目にかかれるとはな。手術した甲斐があったってもんさ。しかも内緒で調べろときた。後悔しても知らねえぞ。こいつがもし本当にモノポールなら諸刃の剣、あるいはパンドラの箱だ。それぐらいとんでもねえ代物ってことになる。当然存在が漏れたら世界レベルでの争奪戦すら起きるだろうよ。莫大な富とそんな富すらも無価値にするほどの不幸しか呼ばねえ。それでもいいのか？
いい。ガンツク2を動かすために使えるならそれで。
はあ、お前は度胸がいいのか怖いもの知らずなのかただのバカなのかよくわからねえな。
It's a mix of everything,
万
honestly.
博が終わったらちゃんとした研究機関に持ち込むよ。それにガンツク2のことにしか使うつもりはないんだ。
わかった。少し時間をくれ。それとこのことはロボ部だけの秘密にしとけよ。誰にも言うんじゃねえ。光彦の野郎にも言わない方がいいな。あいつはバカだからよ。
No, that would be a fucking terrible idea. Like there is no no understatement to it. Like that would just be like the end,
こっち
honestly.
で調査が終わった
No
ら
more secrets there.
それまでは俺の前でモノポールの話はするな。わかったな。
And so we've been waiting on Doc to finish his research. Whether we'll be able to use the monopole in an electric motor, that'll have a huge effect on the drive system, but
フラウボーの説得はしなくちゃね。
Subaru nods.
2号機が動くか動かないかは全てプログラムにかかっていますから。
No matter what the research results are, Model 2 systems will be built by Frabau. If Frau Bao doesn't do the work, Gunbuild 2 will never be complete. Her role is huge. I've already attempted to get her help on multiple occasions, but Frau Bao's completely closed herself off as of late. I mean, she was always a shut-in, but now it's even worse than before. She won't even let Kai, the person closest to her, into her room anymore. Though I don't know what those two were up to when they were alone.
しかも来月には万博の審査が控えているんです。
But nothing important either. General public giant robot entries have 2 inspections, one 2 months prior and one right before. It's a special rule for this year's expo. The first inspection only requires us to send in a video. We need to show the robot moving properly and explain our theme for it. As president, I'll be the one handling the latter. And that's a written submission.
ちなみにテーマは決まったよ。愛と正義の力で全人類に平和と勇気を。ねえ、どう？なんかロボットアニメっぽいでしょ？
ナンセンスですね。
It is,
何
but
ですかその
it
化石
lines
に毛
up.
が生えたような使い古された概念は。真面目にやるつもりがあるんですか？
Why does he have to be so merciless? There's no way this punk has any friends. Anyway, putting that aside, I gotta do something about Frau Bao. But what can I even do? I'm not feeling too confident about this. Yeah, honestly, I
というわけ
don't
で
know.
フラウボーの説得を会に。
Oh, perfect. Now it's our problem. Fantastic. Alright, what's new on Twitter? Ladies and gentlemen, do you know what is most important when it comes to operating a hobby robot? Yes, the main the control system. If that is made firmly, it can easily cover any hardware handicap. However, if the control system is bad, you'll only make a bad robot no matter how much you spend. I think this is the first time in 2.5 years that I felt this fulfilled since I joined the Robotics Club. Oh, it's so fun. I wish this started 2 years ago. Moewaki-senpai, are you watching? Robotics Club is finally moving forward. Alright, so this is the 13th. What do we got to respond to here? I guess it's to Sister Centipede. So, not this, but yeah, we can respond with whatever here. Glad you're having fun. You look better when you're carefree about making robots than when you're hesitant, in a good way. If you stay full of yourself, someone... No, not that. Who was Moewaki-senpai again? Was that his name? Let's just go with this one. Let's be somewhat nice. I think it's fun too. I would have never felt like this in karate, but working together as part of a team thing is wonderful. Right? I am beyond thrilled that you understand the fun of being in the Robotics Club. Doc turned into a mad scientist. Careful with that term. What is a mad scientist? Someone once said that it's the kind of person who gets mad if you call him Shunibyo. Well, that is true. We've heard that somewhere before, right? I think it is this one here. Yeah, it is. Someone once said... Yeah, okay. I'm just making sure. Okay. I got a birthday gift from the kids on the island. So happy. I'll keep it safe. The mystery behind the hidden subliminal messages in the final episode of Ganbaro. Analyzing team, is it done yet? There are 19 total hidden one frame, what the hell, subliminal messages? I am pretty sure since they took this much time and many people analyzed it, I think the subliminal messages are an image of a ruin somewhere, and I doubt there is anyone that knows all the ruins in Japan. How do you pronounce that? What is that? Steganography? But okay, yeah, I don't know the term, so why do I even need to try and pronounce it, right? I think it has something to do with that they are looking at just a single frame, but it kind of sucks that we don't get to see any of that. We just get to hear them talking about it, that they're still, you know, dissecting this short, like, leaked episode. I'd like to see some imagery, maybe, but alas, we're not allowed to. Nothing on List D. Damn, I was kind of looking forward to List D.
アキちゃんさ、一体何年俺のお隣さんやってるの?
After school, Akiho asks me to persuade Frau to help, so I decide to teach her a lesson yet again.
俺を動かしたいならさ、まず勝負でしょ。 それで俺に勝ったら何でも言うこと聞いてあげるよ。
絶対にそう言うと思った。
アキちゃんもいい加減学習しろってこと。このやりとり過去に一体何回繰り返されたと思ってるわけ？
だってうちじゃカイに勝てるわけないし。あ、じゃあナイさんを呼んでこようかな。
え？
What did she say? Why did her name come up now? Akiho notices my agitation and smiles triumphantly.
知ってる？ナイさんって今キルバラのランキング200位ぐらいまで急上昇してるらしいよ。すごく強いの。
I know this all too well, and there's no way she's stopping at 200th place. If she plays seriously, she could easily make her way into the top 10. I've played against Naisan a lot, and even I only managed to win around 6 out of 10 matches. She's a hard fight. Against me, second best in the world. Did Akiho catch wind of that? No, it's possible that Naisan told her herself. After all, she's at TNSC a lot nowadays, what with building Model 2 and all. If she used Naisan, and even if I limited it to 1 round, I've got a risky 40% chance of losing. And 40% is higher than the batting average of a professional batter in baseball.
というわけで明日宇宙センターに一緒についてきてね。
ナエさんに代理を頼むの？
ずるいなんて言わないように。カイが強すぎるのが良くないんだから。
How is this my fault? I worked hard to get where I am.
オッケー、わかった。明日は俺も TNSC に行くよ。ちゃんとナエさんとの勝負をセッティングしといて、できれば50戦くらいはしたいって伝えといてくれると助かる。
まさかそんなあっさりと OK してくれるなんて。どういうこと？何かあったの？それとも何か企んでる？
いや、そんなことないよ。
Why is she so surprised when she's the one who suggested this? I glance at our sly rascal of a president and stand up from the shade of the tree.
どこか行くの？
コナちゃんのところ説得すればいいんでしょ。
え？
どうせナエさんとやり合えば7-3あるいは6-4の勝負になるんでね。俺の全勝はありえないわけ。だったら最初からアキちゃんの頼みを聞いておけば話がスムーズでしょ。
すごい。カイがこんなに簡単に折れることなんて今まで一度もなかったのに。やった！ナエさんパワーだね。でも今からフラウボーの説得に行くなら明日のナエさんとの勝負は必要ないんじゃ。
おいおい、アキちゃん、ふざけたこと言わないでよ。
Yeah, he's not gonna pass up an opportunity to fight nice. Like, I mean, come on. Like, that was the whole point of her route. Well, not the whole point, but that's like 50% of the contents of that route was them playing fucking Kill Ballad.
ナエさんとの
Let's go
勝
with
負は
that.
俺の中じゃそんじょそこらの上位ランカーとの対戦よりよっぽど燃えるんだよ。対戦できるなら一日中でもやってたいの。だから今さら約束破ったりしないように。
なんか手段が目的にすり替わってるような。
Yeah, a little bit. I head toward the hangar, leaving Akiho dumbfounded behind me. Yeah, things did get a little switched up there, but that's okay. Alright, I think we'll end the episode here. This seems like an okay spot. Alrighty. So this phase is called Ionosphere Driver. Not that I actually really cared for all the titles of the chapters. I don't understand what any of them mean. I tend to not, but that's okay. Going back to my argument of why do I try to pronounce things if I don't even know what they mean? Well, anyways, thank you all for watching this lovely episode as we jump into a whole new chapter in our lovely adventure. I don't even know if we're going to focus on the next report in this phase. We have not heard anything in regards to the flags or anything of the sort. I have no idea. I mean, I could probably look at the guide and see, like, near the end of the phase if we're going to be looking at a report or not. But that's whatever. I'll just kind of... I'll predict, maybe. I'm going to assume, yeah, that we'll come across another report. I just don't think it's too much of a... I don't know, priority. Plus, with the flags being as tough as they are, I mean, shoot, don't we have to, like, run all over the goddamn place, quite literally? That's gonna be a tough one, so I don't think it's too much of a priority here for Kaito, but we'll see as we continue along here in this chapter. Thank you all for watching. If you enjoyed, be sure to leave a like, subscribe, all that fancy jazz, and I will see you all next time. Take it easy.